some few minutes.
Oh, okay. Yes, colleagues, that's the situation we find ourselves now, and we are hoping that everything will be fine. Now, as he comes, I think I can give us a little insight into the essence of this our Zoom meeting this evening. Well, the topic is amendment of GhIS diploma numbers. I believe all of us have numbers, and wherever you go, they ask you your number. Then you mention my number is F831. Somebody else could be M413. Then then the other one too will come up. It happens in that order, and it seems when you mention that, you are not able to detect where you are coming from, whether you are a VS member, whether you are LS member, unless you are. Please. Hello, I'll plead. Can we all mute our mics, please? Sylvia Edward, please mute your mic. If I see your mic on, I'll mention your name. Thank you very, very much. Yes, so see, we all have our own unique ID numbers or diploma numbers. But the point is, when you mention, the person will have to ask you again which division. In that case, it makes the conversation quite long. And wherever we are, we need to identify ourselves. So it came up at Governing Council that we will have to do some amendment to our diploma numbers to be so unique. When you mention the number, we will know where you're coming from, because that should be a unique number for our GhIS members. So wherever you are, you might not even need to mention the division you are. When you mention your ID, straight away it is identified where you are. And that is one thing we are yet to come up with, but we need to be educated and then sensitized on that. So that is what our brother will be taking us through. And it doesn't mean immediately he takes us through, we are implementing at once. We need to dedicate ourselves, because it will take some time before that takes off. Hey, who is this? Who is this? Hey. Surveyor Abdul. Surveyor Nana Buachi Ajimai. Surveyor Rexford, please mute your mics. Thank you very, very much. So our brother will be joining us very, very soon to take us through this. So all of us here will be having unique numbers that will identify. When you mention Gustav or you mention your number, M485. Surveyor Jeffrey, can you mute your mic? President, Surveyor Jeffrey, please mute your mic. Yes. Comrades, I'll plead with all of us. Let's ensure that our mics are muted. When it comes to question time or contributions, you can open the mic and then we'll be asking questions and then getting clarifications on a lot of the issues. So that is the intent of what we intend to do. We are about to do this evening. We are going to be educated, and we all brainstorm the new format that we are bringing up. You know, there are so many reforms coming up in GhIS, and it should also affect our IDs. So when you mention your name or you mention your number, uniquely, you should be able to identify where you are coming from. If you're a technician, the number that will be issued out will mean who you are, where you are coming from. So please, that is exactly what we are about to do this evening. And as we keep waiting for our brother, let's prepare ourselves, let's prepare our minds, our souls, our spirits. And I believe all of us too are preparing ourselves for the various divisional conferences. LSO is coming up this August. In the next month, they'll be finishing this. Then it will follow with VS at Akosombo. Then QS will end the divisional conferences also at Cape Coast. So we have 2 central regions this year, and then Eastern region for VS. And this concept will also be replicated at those divisional conferences, because we need to appreciate and understand it. If we don't understand it, communicating will be very, very difficult. We need to appreciate and understand it very, very clear. So let's prepare ourselves for the conferences coming up. And I think things will be well for GhIS. GhIS, we are going somewhere. we are going somewhere. So, Tony, are you on now?
Yes, I am.
Thank you very much. So, members, I hand over the floor to our senior brother, Surveyor Tony Ntiador, to take us through this new concept. Tony Ntiador, we are ready for you.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for the time this evening. We'll try to make the presentation as brief so that we can discuss as much as we can. It's not going to be a very long one, but then the idea is to be able to discuss with all of us in terms of knowing how we want our diploma numbers to be adjusted for the future. So with the permission of Chair, I guess I can proceed now.
Please go ahead.
So I'll just tackle the presentation in 4 key sections: a snapshot of an introduction, the structure of our existing diploma numbers, the proposed amendment, and then the discussions. Gustav, can you put the meeting on record mode, or it is already? Thank you. So we do know that globally, everything that happens around us is based upon numbers or a mechanism of identifying people very well. Our WhatsApp, our Twitter, our Instagram, even when you have registered with your email and everything else, certain numbers are assigned behind the system that helps to define you very well. And so when there are two people with the same name, your numbers actually, what do you call it? It helps to be able to separate who is being discussed or who is the subject matter. So numbers are very vital, or IDs have become very vital in any human discourse. And is the only way as if the world advances for any system to be built and be built correctly and accurately. So this conversation is very key in terms of expanding the base of GhIS so that our numbering format would help us to be able to build systems and integrate systems that helps to define or identify every individual uniquely. So from the introduction...
Hello, Chairman. Let me interrupt Xavier Tony a bit. Tony, I beg you, we need some code from your email right now. It appears that we have reached the 100 threshold. We need to set up the live stream. Kindly give us a code from your email right now, please. I beg you. Just a minute, so please.
All right, thank you.
Nana, the time we book in the package. My your menu.
We are waiting for it. It hasn't come in yet. We said the mail has not come in yet, so I guess I can progress. When it does, then maybe we turn it over.
Kindly proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, so, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so the GhIS, our existing numbering structure was developed as an institution that followed a certain nomenclature. But like I said, numbers or IDs are designed to help distinguish one person from the other. Our various schools, our index numbers, our way of identifying students are always designed to help us to identify one person from the other. And even in cases where the numbers or the IDs are alphanumeric, the letters you see in there have some form of representation. So when you see your passport and it starts with either an A or a G, and in case of diplomatic passports, they have letters that depicts the level of authorization or a way of identifying the kind of passport you hold. And whether it's a 32-page or whether it's a 32-page or 38-page or 48-page passport, those letters help to categorize you in terms of that band that you are in. So there are a number of parameters that help to identify people. So the idea is that let's restructure our numbering so that it becomes more easier to identify who we are. So if you look at the current number, the current diploma has serialized numbering, which started from 01. So our very first member, and if I'm not mistaken, that would have been late Honorable Harry Sawyer. So he was the very first member. And then all the other diploma numbers have followed suit. So the diploma number helps to identify the total number of surveyors. So if you take a look at this current batch of those who graduated or those who completed this year, the last number will tell the total number of surveyors who have ever been inducted. So it tells you that we have a certain total number. But beyond that, there's a latent confusion in our numbering format. So we started 01 for professional members and also started 01 for technician members. However, for technician members, a letter T was added. But in between, most members don't even use the letter T. So if you ask them to enter, they'll just give you the actual numbers. So you have a technician member who will be 01, just like you have a professional member who is also 01. The challenge is that you develop a system for a number format like that. It makes it a bit more complicated and difficult to disaggregate who the members you are discussing are. So, and it's for that reason that this evening we thought that we should present to the House a proposal to be able to help to refine the diploma numbers so that on the face of the diploma number, you can separate a technician from a professional member or even if an associate when we have them. So when you see the number, it tells you that this person is an honorary associate or this person is an associate member. And the face of the number, you tell that this person is a technician member. And the band we would then adopt can allow us to make a projection of almost coming to a close, let's say 100,000 of persons as members. So which means that our numbering then follows in that order. So for example, in this evening's discussion, what we are proposing to the House is that a professional member will start the numbering with the number 10. A technician number will start with the numbering 20. And an associate member will start with the numbering 30. So no matter what band it is, 10 will always tell you this person is a professional member. And 20 starting it to tell you that this person is a technician member. And 30 will tell you that this person is an associate. So when you start the numbering in that order, it helps you to be able to tell whether the number you are seeing on the face, whether it's a technician member you are dealing with, or whether it's a professional member. This is also very key and paramount because in our IDs that we are developing, in our stamp that we are developing, consistency in the numbering and identification is very key from separating one from the other. So this is the first level. The proposal is that prefix the professional member with 10, a technician member with 20, and then an associate member with 30. Then when you jump from that level, then also we need to identify which division the number belongs to, or which division. If you look at the way the numbering is done, it follows virtually the same order. We pack all the VS members and number them, and then it jump to LS, and then we number them in that band of numbers. So when we have, for example, inductees next year, when they serialize the numbers, the number follow, you see all the LS numbers following. And then when it hops, it moves to another division in that order. So the idea is that give the numbers, and then a 10 will be an LS. Now, if you take a look at this critically, apart from associate, all the other three divisions are identified in alphabetical order. So just don't ask me why it's GhIS 20 or VS 30 and not the other way around. We just basically adopted to stay consistency with alphabetical numbering. So if that is the case, then LS will be 10, and then GhIS will be 20, and then VS will be 30. We could have other members who may not fall into any of these three categories, but by expansion of membership, if council so desires, then can allow us to admit more, then that will have a 40. Now, when you put it together, you should have a mechanism where the diploma numbers also. So apart from these two first categories I've mentioned, the idea is that that's something we can discuss this evening, and from the next month, we will make it happen. We are thinking that currently the total number of members we have is around 3,000, I think 500, if I'm not mistaken. Now, 3,500 is 4 digits. So what it means that the question is that can we open it up to either 5 or 6 digits? So we are looking into the future, almost the next 10 years. If you make it 6 digits, it means that you are looking at almost like a million members. Now, or maintain 5 digits, then you are looking at tens of thousands. So by the time you currently have known that from independence to date, we only have 3,500. However, that said, a number of universities are also rolling out programs. We may end up having, when the opportunities open with associates, the number could easily balloon. What it means is that we need to then decide, are we going to stick with 4 digits, 5 digits, or 6 digits, or 7 digit number? Now, that set of numbers then will be added to the 10 being professional, the other 10 being LS, or 10 being professional, 20 being GhIS, or 10 being professional, 30 being VS. And then the next digits all follow the current numbers. So for example, I am 1075. So if it is agreed that it will be 5 digits, it means that my number would just become 01075. And if it becomes a 6 digit, it will become 001075 in that order. So if you go by this approach, it means that our very first member, Harry Sawyer, would have been 0001 if we maintain the 5-digit number. What that does is that then in the actual numbering format, so this one, I use the 4-digit number approach, for example. It means that an LS then will become 1010. So if the person is the current membership, the person's diploma number is 3500, then that number will follow 1010 3500. So when you see that on the face, you know that 1010 is referring to an LS, 1020 is referring to a GhIS, 1030 is referring to a VS, and then 1040, for example, is referring to an associate, or 4040 as I showed it. So with that, it says the clarity for professional members. Now, if you come to technician members, this is how it will look like. So it will become 2010, and then the numbers, and then the person is LS. So all technician numbers then will have 20 before them, before their divisions, and then their actual identification numbers. So this evening is to say, if we agree to this approach, it will make all of us going forward, we wouldn't need to be able to worry about numbering anymore. We have set it and we have made room for it for the next couple of months or years, 10 years, 50 years, or 100 years from now, for it to be accommodated. It's also very important that the current system we are running, in terms of the system we developed, if you notice, if you are a technician, we have not been able to upload them because the numbers ought to be the same, not to be, what do you call it? We don't need to have, the same will not allow us to have two numbers, same. So then you have a number of duplicates that sometimes you can't upload. So, for example, in particular, most of technician members have not been uploaded on our membership system yet, because those numbers, when we uploaded the professional members first, and we tried to upload that of technician members, we realized that the numbers already exist. And then also we developed a system to be purely numerical, not alphanumerical. Now, in indexing, when it's alphanumerical, you need to keep the letter on the different side. But in the development of the solution, looking at how far we want to go, we decided to keep it purely numerical. So I'll give you a typical example. When you take a look at your ID, the GHA is, what do you call it? The alphabet. But in the system, it's just a question of the country. So the actual numbers are the ones you find in the band. Okay. So we haven't done that by creating the letters so that we can avoid confusion. So the idea is to use numbers all throughout so that it makes indexing, synchronizing a bit more easier for us. So this evening, the long and short of this CPD is to bring you up, all of us up to this stage, and then walk us through to see where we want to go. So if this is accepted, it means that...
Yeah. Hello, Chairman.
Yes.
Survey attorney.
Yes, I am here. I can hear you.
Chairman, as I indicated earlier, we have a lot of our members. We have a lot of our members who are unable to join. So we have set up another link that we are about to share on the platform. We would have to rather use that link for the presentation. So I'm just calling your attention. We are dropping the new link on the platforms right now so that everybody will join that link, because it's becoming embarrassing.
Okay, I was almost done. I was actually left with my last slide.
Yeah.
But if that's
so
the case,
we may have to end this one and rather use the other link, please.
All right. Okay.
Yes, this one there, it is our fault, so we have to bear it. Sorry.
So actually, we'll plead with you. We'll go off this, and then you take up
that link, which can take more than 100.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's use the next few minutes to go through this. Let's come back within the next 5 minutes. We are believing that everybody will have logged onto it. So let's go off.
Okay.
Yes, I'm blaming.